It's not that you need to study things in more detail. For those of you who have known it, and remember, the idea is you should be learning as you go. The advantage of looking over your study guide is you just sort of think of what are some of the main topics. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what is the big difference with the DBQ? They give you a question. You've had essay questions all year. Wonderful. You have to write a thesis. We've been emphasizing that all year. You then write a nice, beautiful little essay. Wonderful. Here's the problem. Ladies and gentlemen, it is called document-based question because they give you the question, and then they give you 8 documents. They give you maps. They give you articles from diaries. They give you a newspaper clipping. And what you need to do is you read over these documents, and then you use the documents to support your essay. Now, what is one of the things I want to rule out for you right now? They do not want you to basically doing direct quotes. You do not need to pull parts out. Every single person in the country is using the documents. What you need to do is you need to talk about a particular issue, like, let's see here, protective tariffs. So you start talking about protective tariffs, and then you say, the document by Alexander Hamilton, or document F, specifically talks about problems, or why some people didn't. Ladies and gentlemen, what is the purpose of this? A, you need to use your outside information. What do I know about President whoever? What do I know about the articles? What do I know about Jamestown? So you need to start with outside information, and then as you read the document, you need to decipher what is that document about. And then as you write your essay, you need to incorporate the documents to support. So whatever you're talking about, if you're talking about the Battle of Lexington, you need to try to identify which one of these documents references or would support the Battle of Lexington. When you look at this, what is the biggest thing? I'm not going to sit here and insult you and read it point by point. The biggest thing I'm going to emphasize is you have to have a thesis. What I would recommend, and on the first one, half of you aren't going to believe me, I would read the question, I would write my thesis. Flat out. Did you hear me? Read the question, write the thesis. How do we write theses in here? We should go 1, 2, 3. If you want 4 or 5, great. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you listen to me, I would write this. Ideally, if you have time, you try to think of what is my examples. What would I put under here? Okay? Then, after you've written a thesis and you know what am I going to talk about, you go to the documents. As you read the documents, what should you be doing? You should be thinking yourself, maybe you write, as you read the document, oh, this is about abolitionism, or this document is about temperance. And then you are kind of going, so what you're doing is you're kind of outlining as you're reading. Basically, what does A mean? In paragraph 1, I can reference document A. In paragraph 2, I can reference document C, and at that point, I would actually start writing it. Ladies and gentlemen, preparation is going to help you here. The thesis sets up everything. People who write a good thesis, odds are, you will do fine. People who do not write a good thesis will not do fine. 2, outside information comes first. That is why, what did I recommend? Read the question, write the thesis. Read the question, write the thesis. After you write the thesis, then read the documents. Because remember, the documents are supposed to support what you know. If the documents remind you of something you forgot, you can always add a point. Does that make sense with everybody? Is there anything else on here? Again, with the documents, you want to paraphrase. That means either reference it by the author or the title, or if you have to, reference it by document. Absolutely, positively, they do not want you quoting, you do not need to direct quote the documents. Paraphrase them. Does everybody understand what that means? You do not. Because, ladies and gentlemen, if you just simply read it, and you do not, absolutely, you do not simply tell me document A is about this, document B. Failure. It's not what it's about. You need to write an essay where you basically incorporate the documents in. It is not simply tell me about the documents. No. Anybody else? Remember, what did I say outside first? Try to use the majority of the documents. You do not have to use all of the documents. Try to use a majority. Okay? See the one in big letters, number 12? Number 12, do not waffle. Ladies and gentlemen, what is the issue on this one? Oftentimes in DBQs, they give you a question. Remember like the last one. Was Thomas Jefferson more loose or strict? You can't go back and forth. They don't want you in your essay to say Jefferson was loose here and strict here. They want you to pick one. If they give you a question, I promise you, both sides can be answered. It is not that there's a trick. It is not that they are trying to catch you. It is not that they are trying to. You need to pick, am I going to prove that this is right or this is wrong, and then you need to stick. It's kind of like, imagine, if you were doing Hamilton, Jefferson, you have to become or think, I'm thinking like Jefferson or I'm thinking like Hamilton, and then only give arguments from their viewpoint. Does that make sense? Oh, there's one on here that says manipulate items. Folks, what does manipulate mean? If you read the question and your immediate reaction is panic, take a minute and think, okay, what are items in the time period? Maybe it gives you dates. Think of what is going on. Now, once you think of what's going on in the period, that's the advantage of looking back over your study guides, then you try to think, okay, what is a way to work in abolition into this chapter? What is a way to work industry into this chapter? What is a way to work Hamilton's financial plans into this chapter? What is a way to work, battles of the Revolution into this question? So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are thinking of good, hard, that's why I get you used to making study guides. If you can come up with a good list of items, sometimes you need to just come up with what do you have to do? That is your talent. You need to find a way to justify it. How does it fit? But again, sometimes you. Folks, I'm going to be very honest. The first one, often people have a learning curve. The reason we do it this way is it seems like I've tried a lot of different things. We're going to kind of give it to you on Wednesday. You've been given a sheet of rules of what to do. My recommendation is listen to the rules. These have come up of years of doing this. These are things that will make it easier. If you do not look sheet and you just come in on Wednesday and look at that, I guarantee you will fail it. It's just the way it'll work because it's really different looking.